So we're looking at the front of the Podmaster SuperD box. Now this shows the microphone and it also shows the boom arm as well. Now at the bottom of the box, it shows that it's a professional broadcast / podcasting microphone, and that is good for videos, podcasting, voiceovers, and gaming. And then it just tells you that the boom arm is included. Now on the side of the box, it shows that it has a front address style design. It has a broadcast quality large diaphragm, 35mm. And also comes with a 2-year warranty. So any issues with the microphone, if it's defective or if the button stopped working, you have 2 years that cover you. Now at the top of the box, it shows you where the company is located, and then it also shows you where it was designed and where it was assembled. So the polar pattern of the microphone is supercardioid, so that means it's going to be a little bit tighter when picking up sounds or people's voices where it's directed. It has a frequency response of 20 to 20 kilohertz and a sensitivity of 43 dBV at 1 PA. Now in the back of the box, it just shows you how the microphone is designed, and it shows you what they equip the microphone with. So again, with the 35mm large diaphragm, and it also gives you a small picture of how it's supposed to be facing the person who's going to be using it. So it's going to be aimed directly towards a person's voice or towards a person's face instead of facing upward instead. Alright, so here we go, unboxing the box for the SuperD Podmaster. Here's a little introduction to the things that's inside the box. So it has the microphone, the included accessories, and then it just tells you again how the microphone is supposed to be positioned, and it tells you the specifications again. And then the first thing we got is the USB cable. So this is directly USB-A to USB-A to whatever computer or whatever you have. The cable itself is about 4 to 5 feet, I believe. Not too long and not too short. Like just enough to have it set up to whatever you have. Then right here we have the mounting clip. So the gold part goes directly into the boom arm itself, and then the other side goes to the microphone. And it has a little knob right there so you can adjust however you want. Then this part we have the actual mounting piece for the desk or whatever you have. So you just adjust it to however thick your table is, and then from there you can adjust the tightness of the thing. And now for this one, we actually have the boom arm itself. So the boom arm, it's a decent length. It's good enough for a desk if you want the boom arm to be a little bit distance from how you have your setup. And at the same time, it is designed really well so that you have no issues with it, wobbling, or if any of the springs like break. Like you shouldn't have any of those issues with this. And then there you have the branding for the microphone, CAD Podmaster Super, or not even Super, it just says Podmaster Boom. So I'm assuming it's a variety boom arm for other things as well, for other microphones. And then just a basic windshield, for any plosives that you might say into the microphone if you're doing voiceover work. And then here you have the microphone itself. So it is a all metal construction, and it's pretty heavy too. I don't know how the weight is or what it is, but it is a decent amount of weight into the microphone. So you have the two side addresses so that you can reject, and then you have the front address so that it can pick up as much as possible. And then you have the headphone monitoring jack right in front of you with the mic mute button, and the volume up and down for the headphones as well. and you want to hear a little bit more details into your recordings or to your sound or whatever you're doing. And then again, the branding of the microphone, the CAD Audio Podmaster. And at the bottom, you can see the USB connection. It has a little USB A to USB A, and then it has a couple of screws as well. And I do feel with the complete package that it gives you, it's definitely a good starting point for people that are looking for a USB microphone that doesn't have to be connected to anything else. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just want to go more in depth into what the microphone can do for you and what all these little details mean for a person that's starting out. So the first one obviously is the front address microphone design. So that just basically means that the microphone is pointing towards you, so you have a better idea of how to, position the microphone depending on what you're doing. Either say if you're podcasting or if you're gaming and you don't want the microphone to be seen on the stream, that you can position it in a way that it's barely enough that it's barely out of the camera's range of view. Now for the broadcast quality 35mm diaphragm, that just means that since it's a large diaphragm and that's a dynamic capsule, that the microphone is designed so that you can pick up more of the person's voice than the background itself. So it's really good if you feel like you don't have a environment that you can control. Like if you have people walking by, or if you have, other people talking in the background, or just cars passing by outside, then that's a really good way to kind of suppress that away. Now it's a world-class USB circuit, so that just basically means that it can connect to anything that has a USB connection. So you don't have to worry about, oh, is it compatible with my MacBook? Is it compatible with my, laptop, PC, or whatever I have? Like it should work with all that kind of stuff. Smooth and detailed audio production, I mean, that really depends on what you like. There's some microphones out there that definitely give out more of a bass type of frequency response. So it'll increase the lower ends and maybe the mids, and everything else will just kind of stay the same. So it really depends on how you like the audio. Now, when I took out the microphone off the box, it definitely felt like it was an all metal construction because it was really heavy for a microphone, and it's a little bit in the bigger size. It's definitely a really thick boy, but like it does feel like it should be able to last you a long time. And then it also includes all the accessories that you need to connect the microphone. So you have, again, the broadcast style boom arm, you have the mounting clip, the USB cable, and the windscreen. Now I do feel like with all these accessories combined, it's definitely a good starting point for people that are barely gonna, podcast, or barely starting out podcasting as a hobby or things like that. So, they don't have to get a microphone here, a mounting clip over there, a mounting stand over there, the little USB cable, how much do I need? What windshield should I get, and so on. It all comes in one package, all neatly packaged, so that you just buy it, get it delivered to your house, or get it from the store, and then from there you're good to go. Now, the price of the microphone is $100, and I do think that's a really good price range for a lot of people that don't really care much for microphones, or don't really know much about microphones in the first place, and they just want something to start out with, so that they can get started. They have a bunch of ideas they want to get in production for their podcast, or streaming, their gaming channel, their YouTube channel, or whatever they have. And this will really be a good choice, especially for those people that have a desk and they don't want to use a table stand for a microphone. They want something like a boom arm, so that way they can position the microphone a little bit better. Now, I did want to go a little bit more detailed to what the polar pattern means. So basically, it means how the microphone's gonna pick up sound or noises, how it's positioned. So I do have a small graph here on the side, and it kind of shows you basically what it all means. So the position of the microphone will be here in the middle, and so this one says omnidirectional. So Omnidirectional meaning that it picks up everything equally from all four sides. That's pretty good if you have like a, say for example, like a group YouTube channel. Say you're running a whole, I don't know, 5 to 10 people, session, and you guys are doing something crazy like comedy or whatever. This could work. Bidirectional or figure eight is a little bit different. It's also pretty good if you want a more face to face. Say you're having an interview with someone and you want to pick up your voice and the other person's voice across from you, but want to kind of block out or push out everything from the side. This is a really good choice. So the microphone's here in the middle, and then person one will be on this side, and person two will be on the other side. Okay, so for cardioid, it's a little bit different. This one's designed to pick up what's in front of it and just push out what's behind it. And I feel like it's a really good polar pattern for people that don't want to pick up what's behind them. Say it's like a person walking by, or if they have like people hanging out in the background. Like they're designed so that they don't pick up their voices. And it's a really good pattern because it's the aim specifically what's in front of it. So it's really good to push out anything that's around it. Now for a hypercardioid patterns, this one works a little bit different. It does have that same, circular design like the regular cardioid, maybe a little bit tighter on the sides, but also picks up what's behind it. So this one's kind of good, or at least I wouldn't really say it's the best, but I think it's all right. You want to pick up the person's voice, and say if you're doing an unboxing video, or if you're doing something else that involves crafts or things like that, it's pretty nice because it'll pick up the audio of that as well, so it could be a little bit more immersive to the video or to whatever that person's doing. For the super cardioid, this one is going to be a little bit tighter than the hyper one, just because it has a little bit more tightness in the left and right sides, and it has a little bit more of a smaller circle on the back end as well. So this one's good if you want something just a little bit more tighter. Say if you just don't want to pick up much of anything of what's in the background, and if you want to just focus on the person's voice instead. It's not much of a difference, but it does have some uses in some scenarios, depending on what that person's doing. It's usually maybe, I don't know, say if you're doing a Zoom session and you have family in the background and you're teaching class or you're just talking to people, right? You don't want the people in the Zoom session to pick up what's behind the person or whatever. So this would be a good use for that. Now I think for shotgun microphones, I think this one's definitely the more unique design, just because with shotgun mics, they're designed so that it picks up just whatever's exactly in front of it. So pointed at the person or at the narrator, then it barely picks up anything what's behind it. So maybe a person walking by, or maybe a pet that's running around, and then it's really tight on the side. So as you can see, it's definitely like another 8 as well. So the microphone can be right here in the middle, the person would be right here in the front, whatever's in the background is going to be just doing their thing, and then the sides. So if you have like another person on the side trying to talk into the microphone, say they're standing over here, it won't pick up as much sound. And I think I do feel like for a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people that want to do vlogs, shotgun microphones are definitely a good choice, just because with one of those they don't have to worry too much about, oh, I can hear the leaves rustling more than I can hear the person's voice, or the microphone picks up too much because it's cardioid or omnidirectional, and I can barely hear what the person is trying to say. Not only that, since it is more directional, you know exactly how the microphone is going to be picking up sound, so you don't have to worry about, oh, should I position it in front of me? Should I position it, to the side? Or maybe should I just get like something else instead? Like shotguns are really, really useful for that kind of situation. But what do you guys think on how the microphone sounds? It's out of the box, nothing has been adjusted, no treble boost or bass boost on the microphone. The only thing I might have done is I've increased the volume of how the microphone picks up sound, just so that I don't have to be so close to it. That's still kind of close. I'd say about like 10 inches away from my face. But again, like if you increase the volume a little bit more, or at least increase how it picks up the sound, then from there it should be able to pick up your voice from a more farther away distance. But again, it is a dynamic capsule. So usually with dynamic capsules are the ones, it's kind of like those microphones how they use in concerts where they have the microphone right up to their face, and you're yelling or they're singing into the microphone. That's how usually it works with those. And this one has one of those, so it should be a similar experience. But my personal thoughts, I do like the microphone. It does look pretty cool, and it comes with all the necessary things, so I don't have to go look for other parts if I need to. And I do feel like if you want the XLR version, you could also get the XLR version of this microphone for $79 instead. So it's a little bit cheaper, and it comes with everything you need as well. But I hope you guys liked the video. Press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe.